Hello, welcome back to the rather dubious legal world of the legal dungeon. We had just found this man guilty of theft, and to be fair, he was a thief, but there was a bit more to it than that, wasn't there? We'll continue. We'll continue. The prosecutor agreed with us. Hans Zimmer thought it was fine. Again, we're straight down the middle. That's locked because we haven't unlocked anything. That's locked because we haven't done anything. Good lord. Just nothing. Okay, right, so I'm so curious to know what all of this... We'll have to go through this again, because I think there's so much more to this game we're just not getting on top of. But anyway, so if you remember, the initial dialogue in the whole game was actually two criminals talking about how they're going to cover up their murder scene. Classic bit of foreshadowing there, for all you wannabe writers. Let's read the dialogue. Unnecessary criminal, this one's called. It always starts with a phone ringing, doesn't it? Kind of reminds you of the Matrix. Of course, that's when they end the fit. You know, that's going nowhere. Ignore that. Right, Jane. Hello, team leader. Are you listening? Still at the restaurant? Come out for a second. Alone, George. What's going on here? I don't like this one bit. It's a murder case. Oh God. Oh Lord. I know you're at an event with the chief. Just come out and talk to me. Dude, it's with the chief though. This is my big break. A woman confessed to a crime. She says she killed someone. Last night, at Central Boulevard, an old man. This is big, George. Yeah. This is really big, George. No body was found. If it was, then I wouldn't be calling you like this. Nope. She's really quite sane. I said, is she nuts? Her testimony is too detailed to dismiss it as a false report. What do you want to do? I'll be there in 5, George. I want to... Did you really think before you said that? He's as by the book as it gets. Think about it. What if Frank takes charge of the examination and this becomes an official case? Yeah, wouldn't want to make it official, George, would we? That would be awful. We can't have a whole investigation base set up because of one hardhead. A murder without a body? The press will tear us apart. Murder rates will probably go up, but indictments will be difficult. Do you want to end this year by going around digging at random spots to track down the criminal? Not really, George. I see. Well, if there's no victim, then according to the Criminal Procedure Code, no matter what testimony Frank acquires, a confession without confirmatory evidence is useless. We learned that, remember, before. Fine. I'll go to the crime scene with Patrick. I'll search as if we actually took on a murder case. I'll comb thoroughly to not miss a thing. Of course, I'll be writing a report that says there were no bloodstains, murder weapon, missing person, dead body, or surveillance camera footage. A report of nothing, I guess. The weight of your sins and mine are different. I guess all those things will make sense at the end, because at the minute they seem a bit random. I know this game, having random things, imagine. Yeah, we're not really... What are we, like 2/3 of the way, do you think? Anyway, this is the big one. This is the murder case. Unnecessary Criminal, Chapter 5. Innocent freed after 16 years, real murderer caught after 13 years. When victim B was stabbed to death, A, who was 15 at the time, was blamed for the murder. Despite the lack of evidence, A made a false confession due to excessive police interrogation and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. A few years later, the police caught and questioned the real criminal, C, but C was cleared of suspicion. A petition for a retrial and was found innocent. Person A petitioned for a retrial and was found innocent 16 years after the murder. Late as it was, the prosecutors arrested C. A's attorney announced that the government authorities who let the real criminal go must apologise and admit responsibility. It's a little bit like Making a Murderer, the famous Netflix documentary. Brandon Massey. Little Jane, what up? The total score for the first half of the year's performance evaluation is in. Oh, let me show you the ranking of our division. First place, among the crime teams of the 15 police stations under the Flower County Provincial Police Agency. 18th amongst the National League table. That's pretty good. Performance levels obtained by each division and individual, as well as their rankings, are publicly disclosed on the police agency website. Through ever higher levels, police continue to exhibit patriotism and competency in the Central Police Station's Criminal Division too. We did pretty good there. George, I'll read that in a second. We've got to read this first. Yeah, nationwide, look at this. Let's move this slightly easier here. We did pretty good. Nice. Still got 5 mistakes allowed. Right. Did you see the additional notice? We can only view the administration number in CIS for now. We can't play the saved videos. Going to the City Hall Surveillance Control Centre to check it out for ourselves would be a waste of time, right? Well, maybe. Is that the case, George? You're so negative all the time. I think you should report this to the chief. We'll find some answers if we do some legwork near the park. I think there could be a witness. What do you think? Right, sounds good. Team leader, you've been through a lot. This is when he was out with George doing illegal, well, not illegal in the end, but sort of questionable tactics. Right, a 14-page thing here. This is a Queen of Proofs case. Confession is an act of a suspect or a defendant acknowledging one's crime and admitting guilt. As the confession of a criminal is decisive evidence in court, and is also called a Queen of Proofs. However, in the past when confession was considered an absolute, humanity witnessed countless acts of torture and witch hunts. Our nation, reflecting upon these historical wrongdoings, has several safety measures in place to protect human rights during criminal case procedures. One of them is a regulation called the admissibility of an incriminating confession. In other words, please remember that our stance on criminal case procedures is that no one can be found guilty solely based on a confession. So there has to be evidence. So if this lady's come in and confessed to a crime and there's no evidence, she can't be found guilty of it. So let's read. Chloe Sage. The above person surrenders herself to justice to be judged according to the Criminal Procedure Code regarding the criminal fact below. On July 24, 2007, at 733 Street, Central Boulevard, the above person stabbed the neck once and killed the victim, a 60-something male, then immediately ran away, but turns herself in due to a guilty conscience and requests investigation of the case. 2. Chief of Station. Title: Internal Investigation Report. I hereby report on the internal investigation of a murder case regarding the person of interest, Chloe Sage. On July 25, 2007, at 9:10 a.m., the person of interest, Chloe Sage, came to the Criminal Division Team 2 of the Central Police Station and told the investigator, I committed murder and want to turn myself in, and submitted a confession letter and was designated as a person of interest for murder, and her testimony was recorded. This is her testimony. The above person was questioned on July 25, 2007 at the Central Police Station concerning a murder case. What is the reason you came to this Criminal Division Team 2 of the Central Police Station today? Last night I couldn't sleep because of the pain of my guilt. I want to pay for my crime and apologize to the victim's family. For what crime do you want to be punished? I killed a man yesterday. When and where did you kill this person? On July 24th at 2 a.m. at the alley of 733 Central Boulevard. I was there that morning and killed a person. Who did you kill? I killed a drunk old man who was lying on the street in his 70s, but I don't know who it was. Was there any report during the night related to this? The investigator checked the police dispatch and the case reports of the previous day, but there was no report of an unnatural death. Please describe in detail how you killed this person. I'm looking for work, but it's really hard to find a job in this economy. Last night I was notified of another rejection from a company I applied to. I was upset and got slightly drunk. Then an evil thought popped into my head. I could get some easy money by stealing from drunk people. So I put a kitchen knife from my house into my pocket, just in case. I found a drunk guy sleeping on the street. Quickly, I rummaged in his pocket and found his wallet, while checking the contents. I looked at his eyes. He stared into my eyes. He didn't reek of alcohol, and he was perfectly sober. I was so alarmed that I stabbed him once in the neck, killing him. Are you saying that you committed murder because you were caught by the victim while trying to steal his money? Yes, that's correct. Did you not know the victim would die if you stabbed him? I knew, but I was so taken aback. All I could think about was getting out of the situation. I'm so sorry. What did you do after stabbing the victim? The man began to croak in pain and blood flowed up into his mouth. When I saw the red blood, I realized what had happened. I immediately let go of the knife and ran away without looking back at the man. Next thing I remember, I was in front of my house. Where is the knife you used? I left it at the crime scene. I don't have it, but it should still be there. Is there any evidence or another witness to the crime you committed? I don't think anybody saw it, but how can there be no reports? I did make a call in the phone booth before the murder. To whom and for what reason did you call? I called the number 8282. I was a bit tipsy before the crime and was restless, so I called someone I met online. But it was too late, so no one answered. Describe the victim's appearance, please. He was wearing grey pants, a navy blue coat, and old brown shoes. A man in his 70s with an angular face. That's all I remember. Do you testify that your statements are true? I'm not crazy. I really did kill someone. Please believe me. And that was Frank doing the questioning. Steady hand Frank. So this is to Chief of Station. Title, Internal Investigation Report. This is the telephone booth call content. So I hereby report on the internal investigation of a murder case regarding the person of interest, Chloe Sage, as follows. On July 25th, 2007, at 3 o'clock, I received a fax from the telecommunications company about the call history from a telephone booth at 733 Central Boulevard from midnight to 3 a.m. And they've attached a copy of that file to this report. So at midnight, a 0-second phone call, then another call 3 minutes later for 2 minutes. But then there's a number she mentions, 8282, at 2 a.m. for 0 minutes. And then another phone call at 3 a.m. to another number we don't recognise. Another police report. I hereby report on the internal investigation of a murder case regarding the person of interest, Chloe Sage. Internal investigation target. So they checked the surveillance camera near the crime scene. They checked the crime scene for bloodstains and a weapon. They analysed the missing person reports, and they did on-site internal investigation conclusion. So on the 26th of July at 10 a.m., he went to the crime scene that the person alleged. But there was no surveillance cameras pointing at the area. At the same location, I searched for bloodstains and the weapon that was allegedly used by the person of interest to no avail. I analysed the missing persons report for the past 3 months based on the description of the victim testified by the person of interest, but did not find any missing person reports about a man of the mentioned age range. In conclusion, after searching the above area and its vicinity, I could not find any circumstantial evidence related to murder. And that was your boy Patrick. I hereby report on blah blah blah. Although the person of interest strongly argues that she committed murder, no evidence to prove the existence of the victim or the murder was found, and there was no ground to charge and arrest the person of interest without warrant. She returned home on July 25th at 6 o'clock. And here is her criminal record. A previous charge for false report. In 2003, let's read about this. A case where the person of interest falsely reported that a thief had broken into her house by calling 911 from her home, since she was fined 100 smackaroons for that. So, let's begin. So she is unemployed, she mentions that. tick. It's interesting, this, isn't it? Curious. Criminal record, we've checked. Applicable laws is murder. I mean, that's a biggie. Criminal law, murder. Not robbery and murder. Oh, it is robbery and murder, right? She robbed him. Yeah, she took his stuff first. That's, yeah. See, this is one of those, so knowing this game a bit more now, this is one of these moments that will make a big difference in what you can then prosecute for. Right, well, we can fill in this now, can't we? So she killed at 2 AM. The crime scene was this place. The theft was... So she rummaged around his pocket. And the murder was when she stabbed him in the neck, killing him, in her own words. But there's no evidence, it's just her statement. What we probably need to do here is find that she didn't do it. Annoyingly, because they're going to want us to... It'd be great for the station if we prove she killed him, because that's a lot of points, but actually it's going to be hard because there's no evidence. Little Jane, help me out. She only got 1 health, but she's worth 15 big ones because she's a murderer, allegedly. Oh, 1 hit point, just 1. It's a shame, really. You were the Christmas present we were waiting for, and now we have to let you go. You waited for robbery and murder? Shame on you. I already said I'll admit everything. No. What we can agree with you about is your confession is quite limited. So let's find out what parts of your testimony can be objectively proven. I mean, it's... Please complete the investigation verdict quickly. You've 30 minutes until this case is changed from an internal case to an official investigation case. Don't rush me. A fact that can be proven within the enemy's testimony. So the only thing we can prove at the minute are the phone calls, because we have a log of phone calls. That's objective. So let's find the phone call bit. Where is that? This. The fact is, you were at that location at that time. For no, that's all we are willing to acknowledge. What? That's all you're willing to acknowledge? How many times do I have to tell you I killed someone? So now I make the legal arguments. Even if I believe your testimony, looking at your actions, it's difficult to say robbery and murder were committed. What are you saying? If I killed someone while robbing that person, then it's robbery and murder. You have to murder someone to be charged with murder. What fact in your testimony proves that you killed the victim? In the examination of the person of interest, parts of the testimony are facts that actually happened, and parts are simply speculation by the person of interest. Among the testimony of the person of interest regarding the murder, there are facts, and there are contrary to the person of interest's argument. So there are facts that are contrary to the person of interest's arguments. Oh, what? A fact contrary to the argument for murder. Oh my god. What does that mean? So we need to sort of show that he may not have died. Did you not know that the victim would die if you stabbed him? I knew. So is there any way we know he didn't die? So we don't even know who it was, so there's no way of... so is there any way... it's possible he didn't die, basically. Did she just sort of turn around... I didn't look back at him. Hey, we're getting this now. The criminal law defines death as a permanent cessation of the cardiopulmonary function. God. Did you confirm that the victim's breathing or heartbeat had ceased? Well, no, I ran away as soon as I saw blood. Then a confession of murder was not present in your testimony. But I did kill him. Nobody could survive being stabbed so deeply. That may be true, but do you think your testimony will be admissible in court? Of course, it's the truth. To investigate further, you're a habitual liar. In fact, the veracity of your testimony is dubious. Mythomania is an abnormal or pathological tendency to exaggerate or tell lies. Habits remain as records, and lies always contain paradoxes. What is happening? Even a trivial factor of critical information will be testified differently. This is because no one can remember all of their lies exactly. Okay, so she's contradicted herself, basically. Well, the ages are different. They constantly change the ages. She says 70s, but I don't know, and then 60s. Not that then. Timings? Da, 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 da. Where's the contradiction? The timings, maybe. So what time did the phone call get made at? 2 a.m. The phone call was at 2 a.m. and that was before. I made a phone call before the murder. But she did say it was 2 a.m, so that phone call was just before the murder. So that kinda... Did she speak to him? This person on the phone? No one answered. That is what happened. Habits remain as records. Falsely reported. Is there a bit where she says she's not insane? I swear somewhere she says she's not crazy. That's not going to be it, is it? Nah. That was weak. That was a weak one. Where's the contradiction? Last night I couldn't sleep because of pain and guilt. I want to pay for my crime and apologise to his family. I killed a man yesterday. I killed a drunk old man. That's different. I'm surprised that's not it. Stealing from drunk. Kitchen knife from my house. On to the next. So the next consistent situation. I don't think anybody saw. Maybe it's that one? No. No. Damn, time is ticking. Did she make these phone calls? Do we have any other phone numbers for anyone else? Well, hang on. So she says the knife should still be there, though. No. Surveillance camera's not there. No evidence to prove the existence of the victim. The false report seems relevant. There's something in what she said that doesn't make sense. I couldn't sleep because of my guilt. 2 a.m. I was there that morning. I rummaged in his pockets and found his wallet. I don't want the neck, so she's consistent on that. She got priors for because she makes it sound like it's a spontaneous idea. Hmm. So, okay, so so I'll admit I looked it up because it was apparently it's not translated correctly. But so the point is that there's a previous. She's previously been found to be lying. She's known to be a liar, and yeah, so we were kind of right actually. So it was the age difference. So the actual facts are that it was a 60-year-old man in her initial statement, 60-year-old man, but then when you talk to her, it's 70. So it's like, you know, you've make your minds up. It seems you've been punished for giving a false report before. Furthermore, your testimony about the age of the victim doesn't match your confession letter. They're all lies, right? No, I said no. The age was different because I had to guess. The false report was just for fun when I was young. Your credibility lies in your records, not in your heart. And even if all your testimony is true, the police can't indict you. But why? There is no victim. Why is the body important when you have my confession? We can't accuse anyone of a crime based on your claim alone, even if it's about you. You're innocent according to the law. It's not important if you actually committed the crime. Us being able to prove it is important. The Constitution Article 27 Clause 4. A criminal defendant is assumed innocent until proven guilty in court. We cannot wrongfully accuse one innocent person of a crime, even if we lose 10 criminals. But if the person of interest does not understand that without confirmation evidence, the confession cannot be used as evidence for a crime, please enter the detailed reason and the legal grounds on why the person of interest cannot be indicted. Oh, good lord, we've got to do some proper case law here. Right, let's have a look. Let's bring up the murder. So, where are we going to find... something to prove it. Just run it past me again, Jane. Run it past me again. Why they can't be indicted? So it's all to do with the fact that there's no... It's all to do with the legal definition of what a crime is, really, isn't it? So, where is the... So there needs to be something about confessions. It's about confessions, isn't it? So, probably it'll be in a precedent. It'll be a term. Move. God, we've only got 18 minutes now. Indictment. No. Criminal law. No. That's not going to have anything useful in it. Never does. No evidence to prove the existence of, and then something, just a legal bit about murder, meaning that you have to have a body. Right, let's bring up the precedents for murder, of which of course there are none. No. Where are we going to find this? Need to find a definition of evidence. You know, what constitutes evidence? There must be a thing about what constitutes... No. Nope. It must be... We're just looking for the legal bit. It's to do with... Excuse me, give me this. Oh, this is it. Right. This must be it. Yeah, so there's only your confession. Right. Game over. What am I going to do now? Do I need to find the body? You're not guilty! It didn't happen! Oh, that was 15 Gs we passed up there, though. So we know that they were there. But the fact they were there means they've definitely done it. Why are they making it up? So we could have kind of proved there that I guess what we could have done, actually, was when she said... But it's hard because there's no actual evidence beyond... I mean, the phone records don't prove anything. The goal of performance evaluation is to provide a safe environment for our citizens. It is cruel execution of law where the priorities are reversed should we accuse innocent citizens of murder in order to earn performance points. You've protected the rights of an individual and the value of Constitution by ending the internal investigation. Good work. Thank you, little Jane. That felt good. Did the right thing. Watch as we go, I get crucified for it. Lucky for us. Thanks, George. You know, that woman was sloppy. She couldn't produce a single piece of evidence about her testimony. She said she committed murder, but didn't steal any money and simply ran away. Maybe she was too timid to commit a crime. She didn't really look like she carried any criminal genes, and even if she really is a murderer, people would probably be sympathetic towards her and say, the circumstances forced her to commit a crime. Without a doubt, Team Leader, your decision was morally appropriate and just. Even if she's not charged, there's no risk of her committing another murder, so it's appropriate on a practical level too. Thanks, George. Got it, of course. Like you say, who knows what nonsense he might say somewhere else? That's the chief, probably. Team Leader, so this is done, right? I checked the scene once more after we got the confession letter. No witnesses. Squeaky clean. So the only people that know what happened are the murderer, the victim, and us. But the victim's dead, and the murderer was found innocent. So there's just one more thing left to kill. Okay, I'm not going to kill you. I mean, we have some time to kill. No, George, I don't know. You might have tried to do it if I didn't react that way. Yeah, it's a pity. We were unlucky this year. If this murder had been added to our score along with all the other fishing points, we could have made it out like bandits. I guess we should stick to catching little fish for now. Yes, George. You mean the murder stats we looked up? Yeah, I remember. 2 cases for both last year and the year before. Really? Then maybe we have one more chance left. No, wait. Officially, not a single case has happened yet. So we have 2 chances left. There's the phone. Who does he think he is, reporting directly to the chief? Goddamn Rivers really screwed us this time. No worries. The chief won't be interested in a rookie wannabe hero. What's going on, George? It was Patrick. He says he heard Frank in the corridor talking to the chief on the phone. He couldn't hear specifics, but he's sure it was about this case. That snake. Really? Let me see the message Frank sent you. Oh yeah, we had a weird message from Frank, didn't we? So it's a, I'm going to do this myself because you won't message. Prick. Well, it's nothing to worry about. The chief is in no position to interfere with our case anyway. Indeed, the chief is not in the good books at the moment. Inner maturity flows not only through noble methods. They make increasingly less sense. But what did the wider public think? So we terminated the internal investigation into Chloe Sage for robbery and murder. Performance level maintained, because there wasn't really a real investigation. Not guilty. Review of internal investigation result by the prosecutor's office of the court. Unnecessary. Because we didn't report it, so it didn't really become a proper investigation. How interesting. Well, there we go. Down the middle again, obviously. Look how many branches there are that we haven't done. So we have a murder warning and domestic violence case. Do you reckon that Chloe Sage turns out to be a serial killer? Well, watch this space, I reckon. We'll be back next time with a murder warning and a domestic violence case. That'll be a cheery one. Make sure you bring your friends. Bye.